All right, we are recording and welcome to tonight's Power Hour. Great to see so many folks on already and lots of new faces. Absolutely, Karen. Spot on there. We've got lots of new people. I'm so glad y'all are here. If you're wondering what it is that you're doing here, this is for folks that have just recently got started in our business. And it's for people that have been launched so that they can then see, okay, I've got the basics here, and now what do I do? Because after you get done with the launch, you got a couple people and they're telling you what to do, and you're doing this and doing that, and it's kind of a fire hose of information. And what we want to make sure is nobody gets left behind. That is one of the tenets of our organization in Team Fusion, and that's what we're here for, is to make sure that you have a safety net, you have a place that you can come. I like to call this getting around the campfire. And what we do during these sessions of Power Hour is it's for you, the brand new person, to be able to come in and have a place that you can ask questions. Sometimes you might have trouble getting in touch with the person that brought you in. Maybe they get busy. Maybe they're brand new also, and they're not quite sure how this thing works. So we want to be able to have a place that you can come so that you can get the information, the training, and understand what it is that we're doing in this business. And what that is we're here to impact lives, without a doubt. My name's Casey Salge for all of the new folks, and for the old folks too. My name's still Casey Salge. Appreciate y'all jumping on tonight. We do this every night, or not every night, but we do it on Monday nights, Thursday nights, and we do it from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Central Time. And then we also do it on Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time as well. Now, just a quick heads up before I forget to mention this. We're not going to have this coming Saturday because there is a very, very special event going on, the largest in Kyani's history. Just want to make sure everybody understands how big this thing is. Literally the biggest event that Kyani has ever put on. We're going to be in 70 plus countries around the world, and it's going to be for a very big announcement, and they're going to be talking about some really cool stuff that's coming, and it's going to be available for everybody to use. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer. It's really going to be something that is super special, very powerful. It's going to take something that is that's already bulletproof and just make it where it's pretty much cheating at this point. So it's really going to be a powerful tool, and it's going to help a lot of people, and it's going to just automate more and make things move even faster in your organization. And the key to that is, as we build this organization, that means more impact. The more business partners you bring on into this, the more people that they're going to be able to reach out to, and we'll get the word out about an amazing product line that we have that a lot of y'all have already seen absolutely change people's lives. So that's going to be happening this weekend. Look all over Team Fusion. You'll see it. Look over at Kyani North America Facebook page. You'll be able to see it there. And if you got any questions about that, feel free to post that out on the Power Hour chat line, and you'll be able to get a lot of assistance on where that's at, how to do that. So that's going to be an amazing event. A good portion of the organization, just as a result of me being based out of Houston, there's a lot of folks that are in this chat from Houston. And to let everybody know, in the Houston area, we're going to be going to the San Antonio location. So make sure you got plans for doing that, and make sure you do whatever you can, whatever you have to do to make sure you're there for that event. It's going to be something very spectacular. And then after that, there's actually going to be a short regional training that's going to be done, and that's going to be done by the top people in the organization are going to be there for that. So details on that part is going to be found on teamfusionfamily.com. So again, teamfusionfamily.com, you look under resources, you'll see events. You can click on all events, and then you'll be able to see for several of the different locations. They've got all the details, where you need to be going, things like that. There's going to be a DFY. That stands for a Done For You launch video, or presentation rather, that's going to be done in San Antonio. They're going to have that. That was a bit of a late announcement, but it is going to occur. So if you know anybody in the San Antonio area, or Austin, or Wimberley, or San Marcos, or any of those surrounding areas, Bernie, make sure you reach out to them. Go onto Facebook, on your Facebook, and you can actually do a search for friends in specific areas. So type in San Antonio and find all your friends there in that area, or whatever city it is that you're going to be going to, as I see people from all around the country and other countries as well. We got some folks all the way down in Costa Rica on here. We've got folks in Canada in here, and everywhere across West Coast to East Coast of the U.S. So take a look at that. Make sure you reach out to your people and make sure you get them in front of that information. All right, one last announcement so that I don't forget is for the folks that are not doing the DFY, we're going to be doing a dinner. It's you're coming on your own. It's going to be at Rio Cantina. That is right on the Riverwalk. You can park off one of the main streets there. There's a parking garage directly across. You come out the parking garage across the street, you're right there, and then you're right on the Riverwalk as well. It's very easy to get to. I know I used to bartend there a long time ago when I was in San Antonio going to school, so that's why I picked the restaurant. And they've got amazing food, and they can handle big groups. So right now I've got a reservation for, I believe, 16. I can go all the way up to 25. So if you've already told me that you're coming, then I've got you on the list. If you want to verify that, feel free to send me a private message on Facebook and let me know that you want to go to the dinner. And then I can add those in there until we fill up, and then we'll see if we can get them to do some things for us. All right. Done with the announcements. Make sure you guys get to that event. Make sure you get to that event. Make sure you're planning on going to the Team Fusion Homecoming. That's going to be in June. These events, I'm spending some time here on events. I want everybody to know events are where leaders are made. It's where businesses that every single person that you see walk this stage, I guarantee you will sit down and tell you one of the key reasons that they were able to walk that stage is because they went to the events. And it's where you learn so much information. Your belief level shoots through the roof. It's incredible. All right. With that said, next thing that we do on Power Hours, we open it up for questions. I want people to be able to ask me those questions. I appreciate everybody. They're getting the memo that we keep the video turned on. If you're at a place where you can turn on your video, please do so. And we do that so that you can see that there are other people in this business with you. This is a people business. It's very important for that. And sometimes it's easy to want to be able to, it's been a long day and, I just want to sit here and turn the video off, but turn it on and fight through. It's worth it. And you're going to get a lot out of it. And it's also great for the recording for people to be able to review this later and for yourselves as well. So any questions to kick this off? There was a question about the training, what it will be over. It's going to be for the regional training. I don't know what the deck is going to be, but it'll be over the basics, I'm sure, for people on what they did to be able to blow up their business. So it's going to be some very, very good training by the best of Team Fusion is going to be there. I've chatted, I actually was speaking with Mr. Miles Staller today, Mr. James Bradford. You got Kinley and Andres Mendoza. You're going to have absolute powerhouses there at the event. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So any questions? If you got a question, unmute yourself and ask away. And then we'll set, it will not be available online. It will not be available online. You have to be, it is going to be broadcasted, but it'll only be at the major locations of those 70 different cities around the world. That's the only place that they're going to have that. So it will not be something that they've got available to stream. And I don't know if they're going to record it or not. I don't know. I haven't heard. I would assume not. I'm sure they'll have some portions of it, but that's the info on the Billion and Beyond broadcast. So it's going to be great. You're going to love the new information that's coming out. All right, so let's open it up for questions. This is the part where you've got a question, and this is why I want the video on, and this is why I do this, because it forces you outside of your comfort zone. You're looking at people that y'all don't know. You might know a couple of them or seen them before here, but it's tough sometimes to put your hand up and step out there and ask that question, but that's by design that we do this. That's why we have all the little boxes on here so everybody can see each other and ask that question, because it's going to start building up that stamina in you to be able to get outside your comfort zone and ask those. Nobody likes asking questions because it lets everybody know that you don't know the answer or you wouldn't ask. And that's something that I fight as well. I want you all to know that you don't know these skills. They don't teach these skills in high school. They don't teach them in college. And so you're doing some things that are going to be weird. And I want you to get comfortable with the plan, do, review, adjust mentality. It's not right or wrong answer. It's not study for 6 months and then go take a test and then you're able to go out and do this. This business is about getting out there, getting outside your comfort zone, giving it a try, and then see what happens, and then come back and review. This is the thing. What a lot of people do is they'll go out and maybe they'll do it wrong, or they'll mess it up, or they didn't have the result that they wanted. And what they'll do is then they'll say, well, this doesn't work, I'm out. And because they're so used to not liking to have any issues with it's a pass or fail thing. You're so used to when you got that red X on your paper and you got a D on your paper, nobody liked that feeling. You were made not to like that feeling. That's not how people learn. That's not how people learn at all. Think about, you probably don't remember because you were, trying to learn how to walk or learn how to talk. But if you have kids or you've ever watched kids try to learn to walk, you don't sit the kid down and give them a book and show them how to do this thing and then finish up with a test and then let them go out there and actually try it, and they fall down. You go, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You don't do that. What do? You encourage the kid to keep trying it again. They jump out there and they try it. Then they fall down. They get real pissed off. They cry a little bit, and then they want it so bad they get back up and they do it again, don't they? That's how we learn. That's the fastest way to learn. That's how you learn languages. That's how you just get out there and immerse yourself in it. That's what we do here. This isn't going to be where you got to take some exam after we get done. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with a plan of action, and I'm going to encourage you guys to get out there and act. And when you get done, I'm going to encourage you to bring that back and say, here's what worked or here's what didn't work, and review the situation. And then by reviewing that, then you can have people that have been there and done that before, mentors, be able to step in and say, hey, great job. You went out there, you gave it a shot, didn't work. Perfect, good. That's what we're here for. Now here's what I would do differently. And the lesson will sink in so much harder because you actually went out there and did it. And it wasn't just wondering the theory on how it was going to go. And so then you have a new plan, and then it's time to get back out there and do it some more. So that's what we want to do. So any questions that you've got or any situations that you've been in, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask me or ask a question or tell me how it went or what didn't work. And then how would you do it different? We'll go from there. Mindy, you got your finger up. I don't know if you got a question or not. Checking the wind. Or...
Yes, sir. Hey,
Hey, first off, I want to tell everybody how awesome Mindy's been doing, by the way. She has been getting after it. She has been putting me on some awesome three-way calls. She is getting outside her comfort zone. She's following the system. She's building rapport with people. She's not answering their questions. She's not sending them information. All she's doing is putting them on a three-way chat with me, and it's working absolutely fantastic. So great job, Mindy. You've been doing great. You're getting ready to pop some new business partners here pretty quick, I can promise you.
That's what I wanted to ask. I'm assuming that now that I've turned them over to you, I just need to wait until I'm told to do something else. I didn't want to contact or do anything because I don't want to mess anything up.
Yeah. Very good question. So let me set the stage and frame this up for everybody so they know where it's at. And this is going to help Mindy and it's going to help everybody else. And I want to get you guys kind of up to speed on what's happened. So we'll use Kevin as an example as one of Mindy's prospects. So Mindy's got a heck of a why. All right, so she got that first step done. And then she has a list. And in that list of 20 people, one of those boxes is filled up by a guy named Kevin. And then what she did is with Kevin, as she's going to do with all of these people, she went out and she built rapport with Kevin. So how do you build rapport? You say, hey, Kevin, how are you? Now, Kevin's not a stranger. It's somebody that she's known for a while. And she reached out to him and she had small talk, I'm sure. Hey, how you been? What you been doing? These types of things. Kevin drives trucks for a living. They have a chat, and then she piques his interest in some fashion. She hears something or she knows something about Kevin. And one of the things that she knows is that he's either interested in health, he's either interested in wealth, he's interested in time, or he's interested in beauty. Okay, when she got the answer to that, then she piqued his interest, said, hey, you want to fix that? You want to make some money? You want to take a look at this thing? And then he says, yeah, what do you got? And what does she do? She says, I've got a guy. She edifies me. She says, I got a guy that knows what the heck's going on with this thing. I'm brand new. I'm still figuring it out. Okay. Now she's been in the business for over a year. She's got this thing pretty much nailed down, but she still says, I'm new. And she is. That's a true statement. And what it does is it allows her to be able to pass the ball to a proof person. She has trust with Kevin, but she doesn't have proof in the business for Kevin. And Kevin is kind of a hard charger, so it worked out really good. So when she gets done edifying, and what she does with that is on a three-way chat, in Facebook Messenger. I'm actually going to pull it up so that everybody can see. She had sent some more information about me to Kevin. And then, because I don't want anybody to copy this and send this as the edification, she did it on a one-on-one basis with Kevin. And then she came in here with the three of us. There's Kevin, there's Mindy, and here's me. And she said, Kevin, this is my mentor, Casey. He can answer any questions. It's my longtime friend of my sister and family, Kevin. And then he says, if this is a video, I'll listen to it this evening when I'm done driving. This is just info about Casey. I jump in. I said, Kevin's pleasure to meet you. Thank you, Mindy, for the great introduction. Kevin, when you're in a safe spot, let me know when you might have a few minutes, and I can give you a quick rundown on what we're doing. So I'm driving right now. Will you be available this evening? So notice right now that Mindy is not doing anything else in this conversation. She has done what she needs to do. She has edified me and said that I'm somebody that knows what he's talking about. She puts a link to my profile from Team Fusion Family on. So when they see this, they go, okay, somebody's on stage. Hopefully he knows something. Who knows? It's just for them to be able to get that viewpoint. And then after that, it's me and Kevin going back and forth, figuring out a time, figuring out a phone number, and going through all the things. Now, the logistics of that are very, very profound because I'm able to schedule myself, and I don't need Mindy going in between trying to schedule two people that have busy schedules. So by putting this on here, edifying me, and then passing the ball and getting out of the way, then I'm able to go in and schedule that, and it's a whole lot easier for the proof person, that's me, to talk to the prospect, that's Kevin. So I get on the phone with Kevin. And Kevin, how you doing? Oh, it's really bad, icy here. We're supposed to talk that night. And I'm driving right now. I'm in Wisconsin. It's sleeting. I'm like, hey, man, now's not the time. You be safe. When can we talk? Let's talk tomorrow after 1. Perfect. I'm done with the call. I reschedule. That happens. It's going to happen a lot. People are busy. So don't think, oh, my God, it didn't work on that time. It's two busy people trying to get a business meeting together is what that was. So I call him back at 1 o'clock, 1:30, whenever it was. Kevin, how you doing? I'm good. I appreciate you rescheduling with me today. He said, but before we get into it and I waste your time, this is Kevin, he says, is this network marketing? Just like that. Now, raise your hand if you know what to say to somebody doing that to you. Well, maybe 2 hands, 3 hands went up. Good. So Mindy wouldn't have really enjoyed that conversation. And neither would y'all. Because y'all just got started. Now, if I'm training a different group, some people that have been in this thing for 3-4 years, or they have a track record in this, they know what to do on that. But the system is built so you don't have to encounter that. The system is built so that whatever they throw at us, we have a way to be able to handle. That's not your job. You don't need to do that. That's not your part to play in this dance. Your part to play is the proof. You are the proof person. You are the person that knows Kevin. You have trust with Kevin. You don't have any proof with Kevin. And when somebody comes with a hard question like that, you don't know what to do. That's going to take you 6 months to figure out how to answer that. And if you got to sit there and learn every possible scenario, it's going to take you 6 months before you can do anything. And you're going to run into a lot of people on your list here that are going to blow it up. And it's like, I don't know what to say here. And then you get blown up 1 or 2 times and then you don't take action. Why? Because this is hard and you don't understand it. And then you get to that point of this doesn't work, this isn't worth it, because of what you think you have to do after you said yes to the business. When you see that all you have to do is build rapport with Kevin with 2 lines on sending on Facebook Messenger, pique his interest and say, hey, do you want to fix that money issue? And they say, yes, what do you got? And you say, I got a guy. And then you set up a 3-way chat session in Facebook Messenger. It says, hey, Kevin, this is my mentor. And it's copy and paste at that point. And then get out of the way. That's all you got to do. So Mindy's like, hey, this is cool. What do I do next? So when I get on the phone with him and he's beating this thing up about network marketing, guess what? I'm a professional. I know how to handle that. So the conversation goes, I let him chat. I get it all out of his system. And then after that, I say, would you at least hear me out? He says, yeah. I said, would you give me 10 minutes? He says, you got 10 minutes. That conversation went 58 minutes on the phone. And this man is extremely interested in doing what it is that we do. That's not your job to do. I'm not even going to go into the detail of it. I'm not even going to tell you what I said because y'all don't need to know. I don't want you getting that ammunition because when you do, you're going to start trying to be the proof person for your people, and it doesn't work. Even if you give them the right information, you don't have proof in their eyes. People have to have trust and they have to have proof. And when they get both of those, then they take action. 99.9% of the time, that takes two people to be able to accomplish that with trust and proof. So what does she need to do? So what I did was I did step 4. This is as far as she had to go. I did what's called an inoculation. I gave him a flu shot. And it was a good flu shot. It was one of the best phone calls I've had in a while, to be honest with you. And I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit. Because he was so negative, and to go from that to flip around to be ready to join and probably get 2 spots in the organization. Now, is he going to do it? I don't know. We'll find out. So I did the inoculation. And then what I did on step 5 is I set next steps. And the next steps are he needs a presentation. That's when they get all the information that they want right here when they start asking, well, what is it? Tell me all about it. What do you got? What's the information? What is it? What's going on? And what you're going to have the feeling of is right here at this step, you're going to feel that you need to start answering questions. And when you do that right there, you're breaking the business. Now, you might be an amazing orator. You might really understand all kinds of things. Problem is, you're breaking the system. You might get them in the business, but guess what? They're not going to duplicate because they're going to try to do what you did right here, which is explain everything. And they're not going to be able to do it. And then they're going to sit down and they're not going to be able to know what to do, and your business doesn't grow. And then you get frustrated that people leave your business. If you make sure that right here, you don't answer any questions and you just say, well, here's the deal. I'm still doing this thing. I don't know all the details, but I do know a guy. And that's what I'm here to do, is set you up on talking to the guy. You said you had a problem. I asked if you were serious about fixing it. I'm putting you on with the guy that can solve that problem. That's what you do. You know a guy. That's it. Somebody calls you up and says, hey, I have a stopped up sink. Cool. I know a guy. Do you want to fix that? Yeah, I want to fix it. If you couldn't hear by the disdain in my voice on not being able to wash off my dishes. Yes, I need a plumber. Well, cool. Here's the deal. I know a guy. You're not telling them that you can go be the plumber guy. You're not going to explain what they need to do, how they need to go in and underneath and snake the line and doing all that. No, you know a guy. Point to the expert. Let them have the proof guy. You show up, say, well, don't worry about it. I'm going to come over and I've got a wrench and I got YouTube and we're going to fix your sink. And that's what some of y'all are doing. You just came in and it's like you've been watching YouTube and you know how to do plumber stuff. No, they know you don't know how to do plumber stuff. They ain't going to listen. They're going to look at you and go, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're not messing with my sink. Get off my sink. That's what they do when you sit there and try to explain this to them. So what do? You call the plumber. He got a plumbing problem, call a plumber. He's got a wealth problem, call me. He's got a health problem, call me. Let me put you on with this guy. That's what you guys do. You're just setting people up together. You're just the matchmaker. That's all. That is all. So after that's done, there it goes. After I do the inoculation, I'm going to set up what the presentation is. I'm going to have that be, and how I do this is I hand it back. I go back to the 3-way chat, or I reach out to the business partner directly, in this case, Mindy, and I tell Mindy, would you please add Kevin to the Done For You system Facebook group? And in there, please tag them on my profile. And what that's going to do is further sink it in their head that, hey, man, you just talked to somebody that knows what the heck's going on. Or I wanted to tell you about somebody that's had a lot of success in this. If you're the proof person and you haven't gotten to that point yet, point to somebody else. This is who we work with. Check out this article. And that's going to tell the story. And then the next thing I told her to do is also tag them on the presentation, because there's a presentation that's being done on Monday nights that's a Facebook Live in DFY system, and you can go to the replay. And you can go into the comments and you can tag them there as well. The other thing that I mentioned is go to the pinned post and tag them on that. And that's a 12-minute video. That's a very powerful video. Make sure you're using that at the right spot. Do not send that until you get them past the edification. Okay? Don't send them that information. Because what would have happened if Mindy would have sent him that information first? And this guy's first question to me in the inoculation right here was, is this network marketing? As soon as he gets done with that 12-minute video, he's going to say, this is network marketing. I'm not interested, and not reply back to Mindy. Has anybody ever sent your prospect some information and something happened where aliens came out of nowhere, snatched this person from planet Earth, and ran away with them? They ghost you. You never hear from them again. Why is that? Because they haven't been inoculated. You got to get that inoculation. You got to be able to get them on with the proof so that we can overcome their objections if they have some thoughts about any of this thing. Because here's what happens. What happens is he had a very bad experience with network marketing. Do y'all know anybody that's had a bad experience with network marketing in the past? So you got to make sure, and not you need to make sure that they are inoculated from that. He had a bad experience. So I did what I do. I got him over that. And when I got him over that, then I had his attention and I had him with open ears, and he was giving me 10 minutes. When I get done explaining to him in that inoculation chat 6 different reasons why I walked from being the top 0.1% of my previous company, top 300 out of 350,000 people in that company, on the magazine covers of 2 Success from Home magazines, I walked from that for these 6 reasons. When I get done with that, guess what? It's 10 minutes. What does he do? He starts asking me more questions. But I thought we only had 10 minutes, Bubba. All right, that's cool. We'll keep talking. For 48 more minutes. And that's how it goes. And that's what we do. And that's the proof person's job to do that, not yours. Don't try to be the plumber when you're not the plumber. So then the inoculations happened. We've sent him. And so I passed the ball back to Mindy and said, Mindy, if you don't mind, you're friends with this guy. You know this guy. Tag him in some things. And that allows there to be a many-to-one relationship between a lot of people that are business partners to the proof person. A proof person can take care of 20, 30 people in their team on answering those questions. They're going to be busy, don't get me wrong. But they can handle that amount of people coming at them, because not everybody's going to have somebody all the time, and there's going to be cancellations and schedules, and that's how it goes. That's why we had to go back and forth to schedule the chat. So then what's going to happen is I pass this ball back to Mindy, and she's going to tag them so that they can go get the presentation. And then it's back in your court to follow up with them. You need to reach back out to them and say, hey, did you get a chance to take a look at that presentation? Did you see the stuff that I tagged you on? There's no special skill set in that. That's just called follow-up. Now, I will tell you, there's a term, fortune is in the follow-up. It is one of the most accurate cliches in our business. Fortune is in the follow-up. And it's really in any endeavor. If you're trying to get a date with some chick, fortune's in the follow-up. You keep going. You keep and you keep and you keep doing it. If you're trying to buy a house, you got to keep following up. You're trying to sell something, if you're a salesperson, you got to keep following up. If you're trying to get a job, you don't just send it out one time. You keep calling them, let them know that you're interested, tell them that that it's important. Same thing here. Some people, here's what happens, is this one of those little areas where people, the new folks, get concerned, like, I don't want to bug anybody. I don't want to keep calling them and bugging them. Here's the fix for that. You need to get your belief level up to what this is going to offer them. You are in your own head. You are worried about your feelings. You're worried about how you would feel if somebody maybe comes back and says, would you stop calling me? Here's the deal. If you go at them with the thought of finding out what it is they want to fix, that was the rapport step. You found out that they wanted to fix the money problem. If you don't follow up with them, they're not going to be able to go get the money. Here's how I know. Because they've been doing the same thing over and over for 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, and it ain't working for them. You know it doesn't work for them. If they were doing heroin year after year after year, you'd go sit down and have an intervention with them because you care for them. You don't care how that's going to make you feel. Now, is that harsh? Oh, yeah, that is. I'm trying to make a point. You got to go in there and you got to get them to understand, look, you told me what your issue was. You keep going and doing the same thing over and again. Hey, Bubba, it ain't going to change. Now, this might not be your thing. I'm cool with that. Doesn't mean you got to say yes to me, but you at least got to look at it. You got to understand while I'm reaching back out to you, I care for you. I'm trying to help you here. You told me you had a problem. I put you into with a guy that can fix that. I thought you were serious about fixing that. My mistake. I thought you actually wanted to start making some more money. Have that chat with them. Follow up with them. Here's why. Because they're busy. They're busy being busy. They're busy doing the same thing they've been doing for all this time. If their health isn't where it needs to be, guess what? They probably aren't doing a good job with the nutrition. Follow up with them. Hey, did you take your stuff? No, I'm good. You are. If I remember correctly, you told me your knee hurts all the time and you can't sleep. Did you take something, magically fix that? Are you doing this for you or are you doing it for them? I hope you're doing it for them. I hope your why includes helping the other person. It has to if you want this to be successful. If you do it for you, now here's the deal. In the end, there will be a part that is for you, guaranteed. But you have to have that happen second. It has to be about the other person first. Zig Ziglar said it. I've heard 3 people say it today to me. You can have anything you want in this world as long as you help other people get what they want first. You help enough people get what they want, yours is done. That's how this works. You got to help them with whatever it is that's ailing them. Why this is so successful and why this is so powerful is that what it is that we help and what we help fix is one of these 4 things right here. And those 4 things are very important to a lot of people. That's why there's an emotion that's tied to it. My previous company in electricity, this was the thing that I had to find out if they wanted. Hey, you want some electricity? Hey, I got some electricity here. You want some? That's what I got to do. I got to save money on their light bill. Is that adding value? Yeah. But do you have a lot of people walking around going, golly, I have got to figure out how to save $27 on my light bill today. Goodness gracious. This business, you got people that are walking around going, I have got to get some sleep. I haven't slept in 3 days. My arm hurts so bad. I don't feel good. My triglycerides are off the charts. That's all that consumes you. If you haven't had your health, if you've got an issue, it consumes you. It's a big deal to a lot of people. That's why this thing works so well, because first, the product just works. God bless this product and this company for putting this stuff together. You guys have no idea how lucky we are to be able to represent this, because you go out in the world and there is a bunch of nonsense that's out there. I have seen it. I have seen it all. That's why I stuck with the same company for as long as I did, because nothing beat what I was doing. It was a bunch of nonsense. This stuff works. So once we have that, then it's just a matter of figuring out the people side of it. That's all this business is. You don't have to go figure out the product. You don't have to package it. You don't have to formulate it. You don't have to store it. You don't have to ship it. You don't have to source it. You don't have to do any of those things. Think about how difficult it is just to figure out where to go to get all the blueberries that you got to be able to take care of. Imagine the headaches that there's a guy that has to deal with that. If you're in corporate America, you probably have a similar thing that you got that one thing that you get to do all the time. You don't have to touch that. Imagine having a business that you don't have to do any of that. What you have to do is you have to singularly figure out only this page on steps 1, 2, and 3. You do that, you can make a stupid amount of money in this business. And guess what? Guess where that money comes from? It comes from the impact that you're making. They don't send you the money until the impact has been made. All right, where's the pin post? So on the Facebook, excuse me, on the Facebook page, if you're on the mobile device, it's hidden at the top. It's collapsed and it says pin post. You got to click it and then it'll open up. And if you're just on the DFY system, it's the very top post. Just scroll all the way up and you'll see it there. Will Saturday be available on, I already answered that, on the Facebook, and Jason answered it. Thank you, sir. Good job. All right, any questions pop up off of anything that I said or any other question that you've got that's got nothing to do with what I just did? I'll answer those too. Got 41 people on. That's awesome. Good numbers. Yes, Ms. Karen.
So can you remind folks if they add people and then they can't pin them, that we can help them get those added quicker if they let us know?
Yes. So what she's talking about, let me give an example here. Mr. Bill Whitecotton, good to see you, sir. Just saw you down there. Bill, I need those 2 names, by the way. I still haven't heard from you. I don't know if you got your phone squared away or not, sir. If you do, shoot me a text with that. All right, let me share my screen and go. All right, so the 2 pages that we're talking about are Wellness Simplified and DFY System, okay? So let's start with the DFY System because that's the one I've been talking about tonight. The DFY System is for the people that are interested in the business side. Again, don't send them to this until the inoculation has happened. But what you need to do is to get somebody into this group. At the top, you'll notice that it's a closed group, okay? That means that people can't just go out and add themselves to this. They have to be added. So what you do is you go in here to add members, and that's where you're going to be able to add your prospect. Okay, so I just get done with Kevin, and so I would come in here and I would start writing in his name, and they would pop up. So let's see here. Let's say that my mom. All right, so if I wanted to add my mom to this group, I start typing her name, and Ann Salgi shows up. And then I can click that, and they're going to get added. Now, when it gets added, it goes into a bit of a holding tank. It goes into a holding queue so that an admin can approve them being in here. And here's what the admin's going to do. They're going to check with you and ask you, has this person gone through the inoculation? Have you had a chat? Have they chatted with the proof person? That's to make sure that the system is engaged, because you don't want to just come in here and add some random person who's like, what the heck am I doing here? They start having a fit. They start blowing up the place. We don't want that. We want them to know what they're doing here. We want this to be reserved for the people that are actually interested. And so when we do that, we're going to add them, and then it's going to go in. Now, I'm an admin, and your Sapphires and above, for the most part, we just started opening this up to more people because there's so many people and it's blowing up so much. We wanted to make sure that the Sapphires and above have access to this. So if you add somebody and then you go into this pin post that you can see right here, and what you want to do is you want to tag them in that pin post. So you go to comment and you go down to the bottom and you start typing in their name. Now what you do is you do the @ symbol and you start typing in their name. So Karen White, I know that she would be in here. So if I start typing her name, there she is. And she's a member of this, so I can add her. Now, if you tried to start typing that person's name in here and they haven't been approved yet, then you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to be in a holding pattern. So when this happened for Mindy, she did it, and then she sent me a note that says, hey, I got to wait to put him in there. I'm waiting for the approval. Well, I'm an approver, so I come in as an admin and I approve it. I let her know, hey, it's been approved. and then she can come in, do the @ symbol, and then type in his name, and then it would be added. So point to that is your admins are going to be your sapphires. So reach out to your sapphire or above if you've added somebody in here, and they'll be able to take care of that. So this is the pin post. The other thing that I mentioned is you can do a search in here. And I told Mimdi to tag my profile post. So if she did a search for my name and did a search for that, then I'm going to pop up here at the top, and there's my post, and there's my story about who I am, what I've done, blah, blah, blah. And then they can get added there. Okay. David Daniel, you can put him there, whoever it is that's in your organization, then you can have them and tag them on that. The other thing is if we go to near the top, because it's got so many views, if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see Saran Kong was live 2 days ago. It has 2.5, it's got 2,500 views in the last 2-3 days. And what this was him doing a presentation. So I'm going to unmute it. Fast forward into this, and it's a replay. And so you can...
That treats maybe a symptom, but never the source, isn't going to be the answer. But good quality nutrition can play a major role.
So now what you got is you got a very recent live post that somebody can come in here and watch a presentation that was just done a couple days ago. And then boom, they can see the information right away. And you don't have to do the presentation. Technology's doing the presentation. Okay, so I went real deep into this because I wanted to kind of show the steps in live format here, semi-live, and walk through a concrete example. And so the next steps of what Mindy needs to do is she needs to follow up after she's tagged him. And I usually give it 12 to 24 hours. What I always do is when I tag somebody in something, I reach out to them and I say, hey, by the way, how long until you're able to take a look at that? What's your schedule look like? When are you going to be able to watch this? So that we can start setting expectations. Whatever they say is good. If they say it's going to be a week, say, wow, you're really busy. Yeah, you definitely need to look at this. They say, I'm going to look at it right now. Wow, very cool. I'm glad to see you're excited about looking at it right now. And they go look at it. And that makes it very, very, it's on their schedule. Don't try to make this about you. You need somebody in, you're running up against your 31 days to hit Jade. You got 6 days left and they tell you they're going to look at it 8 days from now. You start making it about you, they're not going to be too interested. What's in it for them? It's on their timing. Lesson learned. You should have started 30 days ago. You should have started 20 days ago. And if it's not their time, it's not their time. But don't make this about you. Make it about them. That's the biggest thing I can teach you guys is make it about them. You do that, they'll tell you everything that you need to know about this. They'll tell you everything that they've got an issue about. You just got to know how to ask them. Yes, we can have more than 50 on this Zoom. We can actually hit 100 on this. If we hit 75, then I'm going to get the 250 room. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to do the 1,000 room. And then after that, I'm going to do the 10,000 room. Question's going to be a lot harder to answer, but we're going to figure it out. Better problems. All right. Scooter, what you got, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, one thing I wanted to add to a lot of the new people that are coming in, everybody wants to go 90 miles an hour, which is, that's the thing that everybody wants. But what the new people need to realize is the system that you have is actually an accelerated system to make them go faster by going slower. Because you got to remember, all of the people that these guys are contacting, all of these guys are being bombarded daily with buy my car, buy my beer, buy my steak. It's total bombardment. So when they go in with guns a-blazing and that, it's like, whoa, I don't even want to hear about it. So the system that you've got is if they just take their time, build that rapport, make sure that it's all about them, find out what's needed and wanted, and then delivering it, they'll go a whole lot faster with a whole lot less bumps in the road. Because you know me, I've been building companies all my life, and the more you push them, the more they push back and the longer it takes. So anyway, appreciate the system, and yes, it does work. Just stick with it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That is top producing sapphire, Mr. Brian Pinso, owner of 5 different businesses and an absolute beast. I appreciate you saying that. That is absolutely the case. And that's how this thing's built. That's absolutely how it's built. All right. What questions do we have here? We got a couple in the chat. Let's see here. Good deal. I think I answered those. Awesome. All right. Anybody got any questions about that? I thought that was a pretty good explanation, but there is no way that 41 people all got that. So one of you got a question.
I do.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay, so I noticed on the Wellness Simplified page, even though I've added somebody, sometimes it won't let me tag them. Is there a setting that they cannot be tagged and they have that?
Yeah, they got it on their side. It's usually their profile is jacked up on their side where they've got something like that. So
Okay.
if you run into anything, and this is for some people say, well, what happens if my prospect doesn't have Facebook? What do I do then? Then you go into Wellness Simplified and you find whatever it is that you want to be able to share, and then you simply take a screenshot. Grab your phone and go straight to that. So that's another option that you can do if you're running into issues. But if they're on Facebook, then you need to tell them to check their settings. There is a setting. I'm not a Facebook expert to that level to know where they need to do. If somebody knows that and wants to post that out, that would be very helpful. Just post it out there on how to change that. But I have run into that from time to time. It's not a Team Fusion thing. It's not anything like that. It's a Facebook thing.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
All right, good question. Let me weave in because I know, and sometimes in the launches, I know the one I did earlier in the week, we didn't get too far into the Wellness Simplified.
I think Ruth Polly was raising her hand. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's good. I'd prefer.
I don't know that her volume's working yet.
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you? Welcome to the team.
I just joined literally less than a week. But Casey, my question is, after I joined, I included like 3 people in wellness group. And one of them is mom from my daughter's school, and she has a sleep problem. So I thought of her and I tagged her and I tagged the post about the sleep. And about like nighttime, she replied on the wellness comment that, wow, what testimonials. So my question to you is, can we add our comments to it, or what is my timeline to reach out to her in this case to do a further chat with her?
As soon as you see something like that, you had some great questions there, and great job for right off the bat jumping straight into action. That's just fantastic. What I would suggest is don't do the conversation there. If they put that type of comment, that's great, but take it to a private message so that y'all can go back and forth, and then you don't have to worry about you might have some information that they might think is sensitive, and they don't really want the whole world, 50,000 people to know about that in that private group. So you can go to a private message is the best thing, and then because you don't know how that conversation's where it's going to go, how it's going to go, and then you can take that offline, and that works out perfect. The second part is the timing. When somebody has a comment like that, you've got somebody that is absolutely interested, and now it's time to follow up with them. And what you can do on that is, again, when you reach out to somebody and you tag them on there, it's usually there was a conversation that was before, and you're going to tell them, here's my intent. I'm going to tag you on this thing called Wellness Simplified, and then I want you to take a look at this. Then what I do is I set up the follow-up right there. When do you think, friend's mom, that you're going to be able to take a look at this? And then zip it, let them tell you. And they might say, I'll look at it tonight. Wonderful. I might look at it tomorrow. Wonderful. I'm going to look at it in 2 weeks. Wonderful. Can I ask why you got to wait 2 weeks? Oh, you're getting ready to go out of town. Well, you got Facebook when you're on the airplane, take a look at it. But sure, okay. I'm always pushing them to do as soon as possible, but I respect what they've got going on in their life because, as Mr. Pinso just said, you don't want to be the person bombarding them. You want to be here to help their issue. You're not looking to get them as your customer so that you make a sale. You're here to get them as a customer so it helps them. So it's got to be about them on their timing. Always can push it so that you can get that product in them faster. And so I will set that up when I'm doing it. Now, if that doesn't happen or it just isn't, it's awkward and it just didn't work in that situation, which sometimes happens, As soon as you think it's reasonable that they've had time to look at it, reach out to them. Hey, private message, Facebook Messenger. Hey, did you have a chance to look at that? You run into them at the car line picking up the kids. Hey, did you have a chance to look at that? I'm always bringing it up. When they see me, they are going to think Kyani. That is just all there is to it. And I'm good with that because I got the best stuff on the planet to help people. So I want them to think that when they see me. Okay. So that's what I'm going to bring when I have that chat with them is like, hey, did you have a chance to look at that? Because you were talking, and I turn it right back to them. You were the one that was mentioning to me that you got the sleep problem. I want you to fix that. I want to help you do that. Did you have a chance to read that article? So I kind of remind them of how this goes so that it doesn't, sometimes they forget the conversation because they're bombarded with by 1,000 things. You can come to them and say, hey, I remember we chatted the other day and you were talking about that sleep thing. I just wanted to follow up with you. Did you get a chance to read that article about that lady who doesn't have that problem anymore? I kind of just told them what's in the article in case they didn't look at it. Yeah, I did look at that. That was amazing. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, you ready to, try some of this stuff? Let's get you a month's supply. Do me a favor. Do you a favor. So favor, help, try. Do me a favor. Let me help you on this. Or, hey, help me out so I can hit a bonus. That doesn't sound right, right? But if you hit them up, let me help you with this thing. Let's get you a month's supply and try it. How does that sound? It sounds good. What do I need to do? They don't know what to do. You say, well, let's do this. I can get this all signed up for you. Or do you have your phone handy? You got a cell phone, right? Yeah. Well, just go to the website, right? I can do it on my phone. Yeah. You do stuff on the phone all the time. It's real easy. Don't put it off. Don't tell them to do it when they get home, because when they get home, they got 6,000 things they need to do. When they're ready to do it right there. All right, I think somebody clicked a button. Stand by here. Oh, come on.
Hey, Bill, quit screen sharing. At the bottom of your screen, click the share screen. Can you fix it? Okay.
Okay. Rupali, does that help?
Yeah, I can only see 4 people right now.
As far as, does that help answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. So yeah, reach out to them and see what they got. All right, let's see if we got more chats out there. Okay. Not sure how
Mr. Stout, do you have something to share?
Yes, please.
It's William here. I had a prospective customer that I was talking to. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, and found out that he had prostate cancer and stuff like that. And his wife had fibromyalgia and stuff like that. And I told him, I was like, hey, I can't not tell you about this. I need to tell you about something that's helping a lot of people, and I think it can help you. So he's like, oh yeah, it sounds great. So I told him a little bit about it, and I said, let me set you up with some information. He was like, yeah, that'd be great. And so I sent him the information, and then I tried to follow up with him like a day and a half later, and nothing. And then a couple days later, I followed up with him again, which was yesterday. And he texted me, and he said, he's been really busy, and it's been swamped. He said, because I told him, I was like, hey, let me send you you and your wife a 7-day pack y'all can share. And I said, you might feel, maybe you might get a little extra energy, better sleep. But as far as your health issues, you're probably going to need to take it for a month or two. Mm-hmm. And so he said, hold off on sending any samples. He says, I'm getting the feeling this is a pyramid. Don't want to get involved. I said, no problem. I said, I'm not asking you to join anything. I just wanted to help you and your wife with your health. I said, I definitely wouldn't be getting involved in anything illegal. So thanks. Have a good day. So
good job.
Just thought I'd share that.
Yeah. It's amazing how, I don't know if amazing is right. it fascinates me, I think is probably a better word, on how people can take their history of what they've encountered and lump so many things into that same little bucket so they can have it in the bucket and everything makes sense to them in that bucket. People don't know how to deal with information. And what it is over time, you see so many things and it's pattern recognition that happens. It's like coming up to a stop sign. When's the last time anybody's actually looked at a stop sign, read the actual letters, looked at the actual outline, see the color of it, see the little white band around? You have you just, that thing that's there that when your mind sees it, that you do that. How is it that you can go from your place of business to your house and not remember exactly how you actually got there? How many has that happened to before? How many did that happen to today? It's like, holy crap, how am I at the house already? Did I run over anybody? I don't think so. There's no blood on the front, so I'm hoping I'm good. Literally, that's just your subconscious. Your subconscious has gotten real good at the stuff that it sees over and over and again. And what people do is they lump so many things into that. Oh, I've seen that before. I know all about that. You're an idiot. You have no idea what we do. And to think that you understand all that, you're insane. But that's just what human beings do. There's too much stimulus that's out there. We can't handle all of it. And so we just separate it and we just go through. And what that is what our mind is focused on. That's the thing we focus on. You're getting ready to buy a new car. Your mind says, oh, I need to start looking at white Mercedes S550s. Holy smokes, there's like 10,000 of them on the road now. I thought they were kind of a rare thing, but obviously everybody's got one because I'm looking at them and that's what I want to buy. I see them everywhere. That's your mind say, oh, that's important to them. Let's focus on that. Mm-hmm. So when they're focused on what they're doing, then they just like to be able to do this quick sort thing real fast. Oh, that's pyramid scheme. Those are bad. Not supposed to do that.
Casey, can I ask William a question?
Uh-huh.
William, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm curious, did he get to see any of the products or anything? Like, how much information did he actually have before he said that comment to you?
I sent him the teamfusionfamily.com/products because he has a Facebook. He has Facebook, but he has like one picture on it, and he never looks at it. So I just texted him the information, and he said that he researches stuff. So I sent him the KianiScience.com, just the white papers. I didn't send him the whole thing where it talks about the business down in the corner.
He researched. Yeah, he did a really good job on research.
That's what I figured. Yeah, that's exactly what I figured happened. Although I will tell you, I had almost the exact same response from a guy whose daughter is hurting beyond hurting. This kid is hurting. She's 14, endometriosis. She's in pain. She's not healing well. Really big deal. He's on the Wellness Simplified page. He has seen the testimonials. I sent him, tagged him in a bunch of stuff. And then I literally just said, I would really love to see you try this for your daughter. And he goes, we're not interested at this time. And I literally just about died. I'm like, you're kidding me. Your kid, you're posting about how much pain your kid is in all the time. And you're that guy? So like exactly what Casey says, it's like there takes all kinds, right? Like,
so here's what I would do to combat that. You have one shot at it, and that is to be able to break into somebody's head, enroll them in a possibility that they don't know everything. When that guy got on the phone with me for Mindy and he said, is this network marketing? He already was wound up, ready to go. And it could have been where I couldn't get him there, but I did. And the reason I did is I was able to reframe it in such a way to say, whoa. You're in a pyramid scheme? What? You're not going to look at a product because what happened to you? Was it you? Were you, what, how many of these have you been in? How bad was it? And what you can try to do is get in there and enroll them into the fact that you don't know everything, but you have to frame it. You have to frame the conversation that way. You're not going to be able to butt heads with them. You got to go around it. You got to be able to get them to see that, look, this is something completely different. And you got to do it in such a way that it's not talking about the thing that hurt them real bad. You got to get that all out of them. You got to get them to be able to say all the stuff. Mm-hmm. And then that lets all the pain out. And then once that happens, then they're not emotional. They'll actually listen to a little bit of reason if you can give them something that they can hook onto. And that's what I did with the guy. I said, look, you obviously had a bad experience. And boy, I egged it on. I was, oh, that's terrible. What happened next? Oh, what happened after that? Anybody die? You know, I mean, anybody lose a house? You know, I mean, I went in, I was all in. And then he gets done with the story, and I said, okay, well, it sounds like everybody lived. Okay, well, so you're saying that you got involved in something that didn't work. I said, did you ever date somebody that didn't really work out? He said, yeah. So, okay, well, did you give up dating forever, or did you just realize what you didn't like in your date? Well, I learned that I didn't like that stuff. Okay, cool. He said, oh. So what happened was there's pain involved somewhere with one that Jamie's talking about. There's some pain going on somewhere. They've gotten themselves that we've tried everything. We're tired of trying stuff. We're tired of having our hope lifted and then be crushed. We would rather live with what we're living with than to go out and try something else again, because you don't know what pain they went through. They went through some pain. And so what you have to do when you roll into that, and I get just as frustrated with the nonsense that's out there, but your ultimate goal, the level that you want to get to play at, is that you find a way to communicate with them to get out of their head from the pain that they experienced in the past and show them a path on how this is different. Doesn't mean you're going to get them there. Sometimes you're just going to throw up your hands like you're an idiot and you're going to move on, and it's going to crush you. It's going to suck because it's not that person that's dealing with the issue. It's the other person that you know that this could help. At least give it a try. It's easy for us to say we haven't walked in their shoes. We don't know what they're dealing with.
Right.
But that's where it comes from. So last thing to wrap this up, because we're late to our next meeting here, but see if you can find a way on that and then say, wait, pyramid scheme, dude, come on, seriously. Don't take that, because here's the deal. You can just take that and go, okay, I'm going to move on. I don't want to make a big deal about it. Make a big deal about it. Dig into it. Figure out. It's like, dude, if you don't mind, explain. And you got to do it where you're not butting heads. You got to get on the same side of the table with them.
Right.
Because otherwise it's going to become a fight. They're going to fight for that. They're going to fight for their limitations to be able to have that.
Right.
You got to diffuse that situation. It can't be fighting, because you start tugging on that, they're going to start tugging, and next thing you know, the rope's going to break and you ain't going to see each other for a while.
Right. And the funny thing about it is I never even mentioned anything about the business. I was just purely product driven.
And he goes off and he's going to do his research, Mr. Freaking Weekend Warrior Google researcher guy.
Right.
And he's going to go see one thing on here, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh! Because he had a bad experience 30 years ago with Amway because some guy decided to not explain the products very well to him or something. I don't know.
Right.
Wouldn't let their dad leave and was going to have a fight about it. That's me. That was my feeling about network marketing when it was first brought to me. Mm-hmm. And then at least thank God I had the awareness when my buddy said, well, what do you know about it? I was like, honestly, nothing. But I was at a point in my life where I was ready for change. I was looking for something. So I was open-minded to it. So I actually heard it out and I listened because I was ready for something different. They're not. You gotta plant that seed in their brain. If you can do that, you will make hundreds of millions of dollars on this planet. I'm not joking about that. You figure that part out, you can change the world.
Yeah. That how to win friends and influence people is helping me do that.
Yep.
But thank you, sir.
Good stuff. Appreciate you guys sharing. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all jumping on Power Hour. We are going to unmute the lines and end the recording. So thank y'all so much for coming. And again, remember, there's not going to be Power Hour this Saturday. We'll be back on Monday night after the Billion and Beyond broadcast. So we'll hopefully see you guys at one of the events. Y'all have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Great seeing you all.
Thanks, Casey.
Thanks.